Hello ladies and gentlemen, and you are very welcome back to the channel. We're covering some quick battles, and look at that. End of the wonder who that guy is. I betcha he's cringe. So this is a build that I stole wholeheartedly off of a chap by the name of Codex. Lovely fella. I was very kind to give me some suggestions on things to try in this particular matchup. This matchup, of course, we're just doing a quick battle, so I have kind of forgotten why I've saved this, so I guess we'll figure it out. As we are going to have our Von Kerstein Lord, of course, with that Flock of Doom, just to get those punishes on the blobs that are inevitably going to form up. It's going to be pretty good. Sword of Anti-Heroes, just to hack away at some SEs and do some other stuff, helps with the cycle charging. Pestilent Breath, that's just native to the dragons. Raise Dead, Invocation, a little bit spency, a little bit of extra stuff. I won't get all of the spells out here, but it's nice to have a little bit of utility. Could have just gone for Flock or a couple of other things, but I like having those other tricks depending on what the opponents bring. We have, I think, 2 or 3 Black Knights. I think we have 2. Yeah, we've only 2 here. And then Blood Knights in either flank as well, with their lances for the charge bonus and the ability to deal with their cavalry quite easy. The Dire Pack, of course, with that really nice anti-large on a pretty quick unit. Once you get a surround, put the Dire Pack in the back. Keep them locked up in place so nothing can get away. And then a front line of Zombozos with some Skeletons in the backfield. Pretty standard stuff. I think it's like 5 zombies. 4. I think it's 1, 2. We have some Graveguard in the background is here. Some extra little bits of armor just to hold up so they won't get shot to bits. Pretty standard stuff on this side of my opponent. Just a quick battle, so why not? Maybe this person is in the community, I don't know. Zarina Katarine with her Ice Maiden's Kiss, just to spam that out. Nothing else, just the Ice Maiden's Kiss. Pretty standard stuff. Some Winged Lancers. Kossovite Warriors, Armor Cossars in the center, some Ice Guard. Some Ice Guard with Glaives, just to be able to deal with cav charges and stuff like that can be braced. Oh, Brothers of Tor. Their plans, I'm sure, will be laid bare, and some more Winged Lancers in the backfield as well. That's a pretty light build, nothing particularly fancy. Do they have the Exine Ambushers? They do. They don't have the, they do have the Wolf Hearts as well. They'll be able to get that net. It'll be pretty nasty. It'll be pretty cool. And that is all. That's all that's really on the side of both of our players here. The Bears, of course, are very good anti-large, but I've heard conflicting things of how good they are. But they'll be able to counterpunch pretty well should they be able to get into position. As we're seeing now, the 2 flanks decide to engage. We are going to see the Von Kerstein Lord kind of skedaddle here. Not wanting to get caught here by the net from the Exinas. He's probably going to be chilling out. We're going to get a nice little bit of a Dragon Breath in there. Just to start us off, get rid of some of that armored, which the poor vampires are in no position to be able to deal with armor and stuff like that. It's kind of an unfortunate momento. We see them crest the hill. They have taken the defensive position as they probably ought to, as we're trying to get all of our troops into position. Just trying to make sure that we form up here as best we can. The Dire Pack is going to be caught off here, but not before the Blood Knights are going to interrupt that charge there from the Winged Lancers. We do see the net come down on these Blood Knights here, which is going to be absolutely devastating, but nothing's really in a position to deal, as these Winged Lancers are going to be counter-charged here with the Dire Pack. These guys finally wake up from their little nap. And over here on the other flank, we're just waiting to see what our other stuff is. They've kind of engaged a little bit early. We do have a considerable amount of gold. We have a lot of gold, in fact, in this corner here, as we are going to see some... Did I miss that? Apparently I missed that. That's on Fork. We're going to see the Vampire come a little bit closer here, maybe try and get this, as we do see now some Skeleton Spears come in and try and reinforce. These Black Knights are more or less gone, but they did the job. They held everything in place. They allowed these Blood Knights to get some really good damage in here on some very high value targets, as we're going to get a little bit of a charge in here just to deal with some stuff. Probably should have dived the Von Kerstein Lord into some stuff there nice and early, taking out the Exina Ambushers. The Wolf Hearts here are going to be caught up. A lot of their ranged and a few of their other units here, as we are going to see the front lines slowly but surely start to engage. We are seeing the Oak Brothers taking some oaths here, as they're going to be fighting both Blood Knights and Saturated Skeleton Spears. A little bit of a micro lapse on my part, as I should be trying to cycle charge these guys and forcing these guys to have to pass through even more skeletons, as we are going to see the Ice Guard rain hell from above on top. Very nicely done, as the rest of my army now is about to engage. But we still have a lot of stuff. Our Vampire Lord is taking a little bit of a battering here as he's going to be just passing through this stuff. One of my zombies that's like 200 gold is pretty much gone. We still have a bunch of stuff. They haven't lost all that much, but we've kind of lost this flank over here. These Black Knights coming in here doing some really good damage. They're about to break. These Black Knights here taking out some nice targets, getting some good charge damage in here. Look at this, a single zombie. Look at him, look at him, look at him, look at him. Oh, can we get a good look at him? No, he's shambling back to his fellas. Bit of a disjointed engage here, all in all things considered here, as we are going to see these skeleton spears now starting to saturate in. Stop things from shooting, tie up some units. A really good punish here in this little blob that's developed, but it is just zombies and some skeleton spears. How much value she managed to get? 500 value, not amazing. The Vampire Lord here, how much value? Yeah, he's gotten considerably more. He's doing a good job here with those Flocks of Doom, making sure that all the tight formation here is broken up. These Blood Knights are more or less being sent away. Looking at this here, nice rear charge coming here from the Dire Pack. A little bit of friendly fire. Is there friendly fire? I'm not sure. As we are going to see the Von Karstein Lord here bring in his debuff. Swarm of Flies just a little bit less. Little bit less, as slowly but surely all of the little bits and pieces are getting dragged down. As we're going to see now, I believe they're just regular Black Knights coming in here just to get continue the surround here. We're going to see another unit of zombies disintegrate into naught but ash from hence they came. We're going to see these Blood Knights now start to skedaddle out around. These guys should probably be retreating here, or at least getting a charge, so that they can keep their leadership, as it is slowly but surely holding up, and the hunger has been procced. They are going to get a surround on the cat Zarina, who's going to be trying her damnedest to get out as she's wheeling her way, but she is going to be caught by the Von Karstein Lord, who's going to be slapping. Does he have that buff up? I can't tell if he has the buff up. No, he does not, unfortunately. Yeah, the Zarina is in a bad spot. She's caught in the middle of the Dire Pack. The remnants, the unfortunate remnants of these, I think they're Blood Knights. Yeah, they're the Blood Knights there. They're not doing phenomenally well as the Wing Lancers and the Bear Bros, Winnie the Pooh's second cousins, once removed. And look at that, the damage here the Von Karstein Lord is doing. He's almost paid for himself. That's crazy. 2/3 of the way there, which is very, very difficult. It seems that the Winnie the Pooh's older cousins from the bad side of town are currently skedaddling away. Looking at this here, we are seeing stuff starting to reform here in the background. The Von Karstein Lord is going to rally himself up. He probably has some of those breath attacks that he can start to use as we're seeing them get into position here to try and get... Yeah, there we go. Just get into a better position. Get as much damage in on these chaps as you can. Look at that. They're pretty much already in a state of routing. Some Graveguards, some zombies, all skedaddling about. These Blood Knights here are going to go for a little bit of a charge over here on that isolated unit. Looking at this here, the Oath Brothers are going to be following them in. As we are going to see now, the Von Karstein Lord get a little bit of a dodge, dive, and weave. But these Akshina ambushers aren't going to have a great time in trying to deal with that. Obviously, fighting vampire stuff does very, very well when it's in the middle of a gigantic disgusting blob of duders. So they're not going to get a good counter charge in here, but that's going to soak up an awful lot of the bad stuff that you really do not want. And I believe... Ooh... Did they take damage from that? They take a little bit. But that's probably the last of the Blood Knights pretty much sent away. As we have some Wolf Hearts still in the mix. The Zarina is in very bad nick. We're going to be trading down with these Blood Knights into these. I probably could have kited them away, but elected to not to, because why not? These zombies are still chasing some other stuff off. Blood Knights actually held, weirdly enough. They are disintegrating now. But given the amount of tools we still have available to us, these skeletons here slowly but surely hacking their way through the Ice Guard will win, but the fact that these guys are allowed to just like hold them up for as long as they've already paid for themselves, so I don't even need to worry all that much. As we do see some Graveguard and some Zambozos take a charge here from the Zarina. I'm trying to think if I have any more mobility elements left. He could elect, because this is quick battle, he could elect to try and basically kite this one out forever. Could do it. Electing not to, though, which is quite nice. As we're seeing her slowly but surely, she's cycle charging her way through everything. These Ice Guard with glaives are going to be in a good spot. Looking at this here, the probably recharging something or other. Yeah, trying to set up here for a breath attack while all the stuff does the things. skeletons left behind. Good, beautiful little cast there in the Graveguard. The Graveguard are, of course, going to be a pretty nasty thing to have to deal with. The Oath Brothers of the Tor are not in a good position, but the Tsarina manages to get caught, and now she's basically on the verge of routing. And if she's routed off, it is good night, good luck, take care. Hope you had a good time, as the Ice Guard with glaives now are going to be caught. We do see the Von Karstein Lord reset himself, orienting himself perfectly to get this pretty important breath attack here. If they're basically able to be taken out. Yeah, down she goes. Look at that. Down they go. Pretty much by our blood is procced. And that is going to be that end the shitter taken out. The Orcish Warmonger. Wowzers. Epic. Cool, even. But GG's. Hope you all enjoyed that little bit of shoutcasting. I certainly enjoy doing them. And most likely going to be a tournament this weekend. So be sure to keep your eyes peeled. Join the Discord. Give me a like. Subscribe. Sorry. Felt a bit sick doing that. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do. Right. Love you all. Bye.